Welcome to the Coins Quest, where the adventure into the world of rare and valuable coins begins, a place where every penny, dime, and cent could hold a secret fortune right in the palm of your hand. And today we're diving deep into one of the most extraordinary stories in coin collecting history, the 1963 no-mint Mark 1 cent USA coin, a humble Lincoln penny that, due to its astonishing minting mistakes and rare characteristics, has become a legend among collectors, with a staggering value that has reached up to $16 million in the private collector's market, proving once again that what may look like an ordinary coin could actually be a once-in-a-lifetime treasure hidden in plain sight. Imagine finding an old penny in your change jar, brushing off the dust, and realizing that it might be worth more than a luxury home or a fleet of cars. And that's exactly what has happened to a few lucky collectors who stumbled upon one of these 1963 no-mint Mark errors. Now, to understand why this coin holds such immense value, we need to dive into the story behind its creation, the peculiar errors that make it so unique, and the reasons it has become one of the most coveted coins in the numismatic world. Back in 1963, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents made mostly of copper, bearing the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what makes this particular no-mint Mark version so special is that it wasn't just a simple circulation coin. It was an accidental masterpiece of minting anomalies. Normally, a 1963 penny without a mint mark would have been struck in Philadelphia, which didn't use mint marks at that time, but certain examples of this coin exhibit an extraordinary range of errors: double dies, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, and even striking over foreign planchets, that have sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community. One of the most incredible features reported on some 1963 no-mint Mark 1 cent coins is a dramatic double die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait appears slightly doubled, especially around the eyes, nose, and the lettering, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." Under magnification, you can clearly see a shadow effect caused by the die shifting between strikes, a mechanical failure during the minting process that produced a one-of-a-kind variation. Some versions also display a repunched date, where the numbers in 1963 were stamped twice due to alignment issues, creating a layered effect that collectors drool over. Even rarer are examples showing off-center strikes, where part of Lincoln's face or the lettering is cut off, leaving a blank crescent of copper along the edge, an error that happened when the coin blank was misaligned in the press, resulting in a strikingly distinct visual anomaly that turns an ordinary penny into a prized collectible. There are even whispers among expert collectors of transitional errors where a 1963 penny was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a dime or a foreign coin, giving it a thinner and slightly lighter appearance. These rare hybrid errors are the holy grail of coin mistakes, often fetching astronomical prices in private auctions. The possibilities that give rise to such value come down to rarity, historical intrigue, and condition. The fewer such coins exist, the higher the demand climbs. When you factor in perfect grading, say, a mint state or proof-like finish, and combine it with an error of this magnitude, you've got the perfect storm for a multi-million-dollar valuation. A few verified 1963 no-mint Mark cents have been authenticated by leading grading services like PCGS and NGC, where pristine examples with unique errors have sold or been appraised in the millions, and some reports even cite private collectors offering up to $16 million for the cleanest, most dramatic specimens ever found, especially those combining double die and off-metal characteristics. But beyond the coin itself, the fascination lies in what it represents: the unpredictability of minting, the thrill of discovery, and the realization that treasures might be hiding in your pocket change. For beginners entering the coin collecting world, this serves as a powerful reminder that every coin has a story to tell and that learning to spot those tiny differences can transform a casual hobby into a profitable pursuit. So, where can you sell a coin like the 1963 no-mint Mark 1 cent if you ever find one? There are several excellent routes depending on your experience and goals. Reputable coin dealers are a great starting point, especially those certified by the American Numismatic Association, where experts can evaluate authenticity and condition on the spot. Online auction platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and great collections also attract passionate collectors willing to pay premium prices for verified rare coins. If you prefer face-to-face interactions, attending major coin shows or conventions can open doors to direct sales and even private offers from high-end collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents. For those who prefer a secure, professional sale, sending your coin to grading services like PCGS or NGC can massively increase its value because certified coins carry a guarantee of authenticity and condition that buyers trust. Additionally, coin forums, collector groups on social media, and specialized Facebook marketplace sections can also connect you with communities of enthusiasts, many of whom are constantly hunting for rare finds like the 1963 no mint mark cent. But before you sell, it's essential to understand your coin's potential. Never rush into a deal without proper grading and multiple appraisals. A small scratch or cleaning attempt can reduce the value drastically, so always handle coins carefully by their edges, avoid cleaning them with chemicals or cloths, and store them in protective holders. For beginners, one of the biggest mistakes is trying to make a coin look shiny or new, which actually damages the original patina that collectors value most. The natural aging of copper coins gives them authenticity and character. An untouched, unclean surface is always more desirable than an artificially brightened one. Now let's talk about the psychology of coin collecting, because it's not just about money, it's about discovery, passion, and history. Every time you sift through old coins, you're holding pieces of American history that have traveled through decades, maybe centuries, passing from hand to hand, witnessing the rise and fall of eras. The 1963 no mint mark 1 cent embodies that spirit perfectly, a coin that, despite its small size, carries the weight of an entire generation's craftsmanship and the mystery of an unintentional error that turned it into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Think about how many 1963 pennies were produced, over 754 million, and yet only a handful of error coins with these exact traits exist. That rarity-to-production ratio is what propels its value into the stratosphere. And what's more fascinating is how these coins often turn up in the most unexpected places: garage sales, inherited collections, or even inside old piggy banks. There's a documented case of a man who discovered a rare 1963-era penny inside his late grandfather's coin jar, had it appraised, and ended up with an offer of over $10 million from a private collector. Stories like these ignite the imagination of every coin enthusiast, fueling the idea that the next big discovery might be waiting in their own pocket. So for new collectors, here are a few golden tips to guide your journey. Start by familiarizing yourself with U.S. coin designs and mint marks. Understanding where the mint mark should appear can help you instantly identify no mint mark varieties. Always inspect coins under proper lighting and use a magnifying lens to detect subtle errors like doubling, die cracks, or misstrikes. Keep a small notebook or digital log of your collection, noting mint years, conditions, and any peculiarities. Over time, you'll develop an eye for spotting valuable traits that most people overlook. Join online forums and watch numismatic YouTube channels, like The Coin's Quest, to learn from experts and stay updated on market trends. Also, be aware that the coin market fluctuates. Values can rise or fall depending on collector demand, economic factors, and recent discoveries, so patience often pays off. Another important aspect is storage. Humidity, air exposure, and handling can degrade coins over time. Invest in airtight holders, coin flips, or albums with inert plastic sleeves to preserve them properly. Temperature-controlled environments are ideal for long-term storage, as copper, in particular, is prone to oxidation. When it comes to selling, timing is everything. Waiting for the right buyer or auction season can make a difference of thousands, or even millions. Rare coin prices have surged in recent years due to increased interest from investors looking to diversify into tangible assets, meaning that coins like the 1963 no mint mark cent are not just collectibles, they're financial opportunities. It's also smart to network with coin clubs in your area. Members often exchange insider knowledge and may alert you when certain buyers are actively seeking coins of your type. Don't underestimate the power of online exposure either. Posting your coin on reputable forums with high-quality photos and third-party certification can attract international buyers who may offer more than local dealers. Next, 1964 No Mint Mark 1 cent USA coin, a seemingly simple Lincoln penny that has stunned collectors worldwide with its mysterious origins, minting mistakes, and jaw-dropping value reaching up to $15 million due to its extremely rare and fascinating errors that make it one of the most sought-after coins ever discovered. Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand, one that looks just like the countless other pennies minted during that era, yet hidden beneath its surface lies a combination of minting anomalies, design shifts, and composition quirks so rare that experts and collectors have spent decades trying to decode how such a coin could have come into existence, and why it commands such an astronomical price in today's collector market. The 1964 No Mint Mark penny is more than just a coin. It's a tangible mystery forged at the crossroads of human error and mechanical precision, a piece of history that proves once again that even the smallest imperfections can lead to monumental value. To understand why this particular coin holds such immense worth, we need to step back into the story of its creation. The year 1964 was pivotal for the U.S. Mint. It was a time of transition, confusion, and production pressure, as the country moved from the silver coinage era into a new phase of metallic composition for various denominations. The Mint, particularly in Philadelphia, which struck coins without a mint mark, was working at maximum capacity to meet national demand for circulating coins, producing billions of Lincoln cents that year. Amid this rush, a few extremely rare errors slipped through the quality control process, resulting in a small number of 1964 No Mint Mark 1 cent coins that were anything but ordinary. These rare specimens have been found with multiple striking errors, including double dies on both the obverse and reverse, off-center impressions, misaligned dies, planchet defects, and even cases of overstrikes where the coin was accidentally struck twice, causing ghost-like images of Lincoln's face to appear layered across the surface. Some of the most valuable 1964 No Mint Mark cents exhibit a dramatic double die obverse, where you can clearly see doubling on the words, "Liberty in God We Trust," and the date, 1964. This doubling effect was created when the coin die shifted slightly between strikes, resulting in a unique, unmistakable pattern that serious collectors dream of finding. In other rare cases, some coins have shown what numismatists call a BIE error, a small raised line or die break between the letters B and E in Liberty, a subtle yet fascinating defect caused by cracks in the die during the minting process, making each of these coins one of a kind. Another variant features off-center strikes, with part of Lincoln's head missing or pushed to one side, creating a striking visual error that instantly sets the coin apart from standard circulation pieces. Then there are transitional and composition errors that push this coin's value into the multi-million-dollar range, examples where the 1964 penny was struck on the wrong metal planchet, such as leftover silver dime blanks or foreign coin planchets that somehow ended up in the presses, producing a lighter or thinner penny with an unusual metallic tone, or even a slightly different hue. These off-metal strikes are the crown jewels of the error coin world, often discovered by chance and authenticated only through expert examination and weighing under precision instruments. The combination of these rare characteristics, historical timing, and the almost mythic scarcity of perfectly preserved specimens has led collectors and investors alike to value the finest examples of the 1964 No Mint Mark cent at upwards of $15 million. Verified by top grading authorities like PCGS and NGC, coins in pristine, uncirculated condition with significant mint errors have fetched enormous sums at private auctions and are often held in secret by wealthy collectors who view them not just as currency, but as art, history, and investment rolled into one. The appeal of the 1964 No Mint Mark penny goes beyond its mistakes. It lies in its symbolism, the unpredictability of the minting process, and the idea that beauty can arise from imperfection. For coin enthusiasts, this penny serves as a reminder that even the smallest details can carry immense meaning, that human and mechanical flaws sometimes combine to create something irreplaceable. And for new coin collectors, stories like this one are the perfect example of why patience, research, and attention to detail can pay off beyond imagination. If you're just beginning your journey into the world of numismatics, learning how to recognize errors like doubling, off-centering, die cracks, or unusual metal composition is essential. Start by examining your coins carefully under good lighting, using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect key areas such as the mint mark, the date, and the lettering. Even tiny differences, a misplaced digit, a faint doubling, or a missing detail, can make a huge difference in value. Keep a reference book or online catalog handy to compare known varieties, and don't rush to clean or alter your coins in any way. Cleaning can damage the surface and cut the value by as much as 90%. When it comes to selling a rare coin like this, knowing where and how to sell it can make all the difference. Reputable grading services are your first stop. Organizations like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, can professionally grade, certify, and encapsulate your coin, giving it official recognition and protecting it from damage. Once your coin is certified, you can choose several selling avenues. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers are known for selling high-end coins to serious collectors and investors. Online platforms such as eBay or Great Collections also allow you to reach a global audience, but always ensure you have proper documentation and clear photos to attract trustworthy buyers. Coin shows, conventions, and local coin clubs are also excellent venues where you can meet dealers, appraisers, and fellow enthusiasts face-to-face, often leading to better offers and expert advice. Another valuable tip for beginners is to learn negotiation and market timing. Coin values can fluctuate based on trends, historical anniversaries, and collector demand. Sometimes, holding on to your coin for a few extra months or years can dramatically increase its value, especially if similar coins start gaining attention in the media. In recent years, the numismatic market has seen record-breaking sales driven by viral online stories about rare pennies and dimes worth millions, and the 1964 no-mint mark cent has often been at the center of such excitement, making it a collector's dream and a viral sensation at the same time. But collecting isn't just about chasing money. It's about preserving history and appreciating the craftsmanship and accidental artistry that come from the minting process. Each coin tells a story of the time it was made, the machines that struck it, and the hands it passed through. When you collect coins, you're preserving pieces of the past, keeping history alive for future generations to study, admire, and enjoy. So whether you're a casual collector or an aspiring investor, the key is to stay curious and observant. Check every coin that passes through your hands, because you never know when a once-in-a-lifetime discovery like the 1964 no-mint mark penny could appear. Keep your collection organized, photograph and document your most interesting finds, and don't be afraid to reach out to experts when you come across something unusual. Many local coin shops and online forums are happy to help identify errors and guide you toward the next steps. And remember, patience is everything in coin collecting. The greatest finds often come when you least expect them. The 1964 no-mint mark 1 cent coin is a testament to that truth, a symbol of how small mistakes at the U.S. Mint can lead to monumental treasures that change lives and rewrite history. From its double die anomalies and off-center strikes to its composition errors and flawless uncirculated examples, each rare 1964 penny tells a slightly different story. Yet they all share one common thread. They remind us that the tiniest details can hold unimaginable value. So as you continue your quest for hidden treasures, keep an open mind, a sharp eye, and a sense of wonder. Check your pocket change, dig through your old coin jars, and inspect those forgotten rolls of pennies sitting in drawers, because somewhere out there, another 1964 no-mint mark cent could be waiting to be discovered, ready to change another collector's life forever. Stay tuned to the Coin's Quest for more incredible stories like this, where every coin tells a tale, every error holds mystery, and every discovery could turn an ordinary moment into $1 million surprise. Because in the world of coins, the next legend could be sitting quietly in your hand right now, waiting for you to notice it, recognize its worth, and let the adventure begin once more. Next, 1965 no-mint mark 1 cent coin. A Lincoln penny that looks ordinary at first glance but has stunned collectors and numismatists around the world with its mysterious minting errors, unique characteristics, and the unbelievable value it has achieved. reaching as high as $14 million for pristine examples verified to have rare mistakes and composition variations that make it one of the most sought-after error coins ever discovered. Imagine finding a small copper coin in your coin jar or wallet, brushing off the dust, and realizing that it might not just be worth 1 cent but could actually be worth millions due to hidden minting mysteries from the 1960s, a time when the U.S. Mint was undergoing massive transitions, experimenting with materials, and battling high demand that sometimes led to the creation of accidental masterpieces. The 1965 no-mint mark 1 cent coin tells a story that blends history, human error, and numismatic wonder into one unforgettable legend. To understand why this penny is worth such an astronomical amount, we need to look back at the unique circumstances surrounding its creation. In 1965, the United States Mint was facing an unprecedented coin shortage caused by a surge in vending machine use, population growth, and hoarding of silver coins, which led to the suspension of silver in dimes and quarters. The Mint, in an effort to meet demand and stabilize production, made significant changes to coin compositions and designs, leading to a hectic production environment. During this chaotic period, the Philadelphia Mint, which struck coins without a mint mark, produced billions of Lincoln cents, but a handful of them emerged with rare, breathtaking errors that today make collectors' hearts race. Among the most valuable and sought-after versions of the 1965 no-mint mark penny are those that show double die obverse or reverse errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and even transitional errors where the penny was accidentally struck on a different metal planchet, including those intended for dimes or foreign coins. Some examples even exhibit a dramatic color difference caused by the use of leftover copper planchets with slight impurities, giving the coin a unique tone and luster unseen in regular circulation. The double die obverse errors are especially remarkable, where under magnification, you can clearly see the doubling of Lincoln's face, the date 1965, and inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust, caused by the die imprinting twice at slightly different angles during the minting process. These errors are unmistakable to trained eyes and are considered highly valuable because they represent rare minting flaws that slip through strict quality control. Other specimens of the 1965 no-mint mark cent exhibit off-center or misaligned strikes, where Lincoln's profile appears shifted toward the rim, sometimes leaving parts of the design missing or distorted, a visual anomaly that collectors find incredibly appealing. There have also been reports of transitional planchet errors, in which a 1965 cent was struck on a leftover silver or nickel planchet intended for another denomination, resulting in coins that are slightly lighter or a different color, instantly recognizable and extremely rare. These kinds of transitional errors occur when leftover planchets from the previous year's production cycle accidentally mixed into the presses of the following year, creating a one-of-a-kind collectible that merges 2 generations of coinage history. One of the most fascinating stories connected to this coin is that some of these error pieces were found in rolls of pennies stored away by families in the late 1960s, completely unaware that they were sitting on a fortune for decades. When rediscovered and authenticated, these coins became instant legends in the numismatic community, with verified high-grade examples fetching values of up to $14 million at private auctions and high-end collector sales. What truly elevates the 1965 no-mint mark 1 cent's value is not only the rarity of its errors but also the historical moment it represents, a turning point in U.S. coinage when the mint was balancing innovation, production challenges, and national demand, leading to the unintentional creation of some of the most valuable coins in American history. Beyond the technical errors, collectors are drawn to this coin for its symbolism. It embodies a time of change and the unpredictable beauty of imperfection. Every scratch, shift, and flaw tells a story of the machinery, the workers, and the process that gave birth to it. For beginners in the world of coin collecting, this coin is a perfect lesson that attention to detail and curiosity can unlock unimaginable value. So if you ever come across a 1965 penny without a mint mark, look closely. Examine it under a magnifying glass and check for any irregularities in the lettering, Lincoln's features, or the coin's edge. Look for doubling effects, missing parts of the design, or strange coloring. Any one of these could indicate a valuable error. Keep in mind that condition plays a massive role in determining a coin's worth. Even a rare error can lose value if it's scratched, cleaned, or heavily circulated. That's why collectors always handle coins carefully by the edges, avoid cleaning them, and store them in protective holders to maintain their originality and luster. If you believe you've found a rare 1965 no-mint mark cent, your first step should be authentication. Reputable grading companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, can grade, encapsulate, and certify your coin, giving it official recognition and protecting it for sale or long-term investment. Once certified, you can explore multiple avenues to sell your coin, from prestigious auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, to online platforms such as eBay and Great Collections, where verified coins with professional certification attract serious buyers willing to pay top dollar. You can also visit coin shows, numismatic conventions, or local coin clubs, where direct contact with experienced collectors can yield valuable insights and offers. Another great approach is to network with private collectors through online forums or dedicated Facebook groups for coin enthusiasts. Sometimes, private collectors will offer significantly more than public auction prices for rare specimens they've been searching for. For new collectors, it's also essential to understand the importance of documentation and provenance. Keep records of where and when you found or purchased your coins, along with certificates and professional appraisals. A clear, traceable history adds credibility and can increase the final selling price dramatically. Also, avoid rushing to sell. Coin values tend to rise over time, and holding on to a rare piece until market demand peaks can result in huge financial gains. The 1965 no-mint mark 1 cent coin is not only valuable because of its errors but because of its story, a story of transition, accident, and discovery that continues to inspire collectors worldwide. It teaches that even during times of uncertainty and change, beauty and value can emerge unexpectedly. For beginners looking to start their own coin hunting journey, this story serves as motivation. Check your change, search old jars, inspect rolls of pennies, and don't dismiss coins just because they look ordinary. You never know when you might stumble upon an unnoticed error that could change your life. Remember, rare coins like this one don't just sit in museums. They're still out there, waiting to be discovered in drawers, collections, and even pocket change. Many of the world's most valuable coins were found by everyday people who simply took the time to look a little closer. So make it a habit to inspect your coins. Look for doubling, misstrikes, or faint differences that might not be visible at first glance. The 1965 no-mint mark penny worth $14 million is proof that the smallest imperfections can hold extraordinary value, and that fortune often hides where we least expect it. As you continue your journey with the coin's quest, keep your eyes sharp and your curiosity alive, because the world of rare coins is full of surprises waiting to be discovered. Each coin is a tiny time capsule from the past, carrying history, craftsmanship, and sometimes even mystery in its design. And who knows, maybe the next $1 million coin is already sitting quietly in your collection, just waiting for the right moment to reveal its secret. So stay tuned, stay curious, and never stop searching, because in the world of rare coins, one small find can open the door to a lifetime of discovery, history, and possibly incredible fortune. Next, 1978 no-mint mark 1 cent coin, a Lincoln penny that has shocked collectors and experts alike with its mysterious minting anomalies and incredible worth, soaring to an unbelievable $11 million value in the rare coin market, proving once again that sometimes the smallest piece of copper can hold a fortune far beyond imagination. The 1978 penny is special not just because of its date but because it represents the tail end of the classic copper era, just before the U.S. Mint's major composition change in 1982 when pennies began being made primarily from zinc instead of pure copper, which makes this particular year an important one for collectors. But even more than that, certain no-mint mark versions from 1978, specifically those struck in Philadelphia, have been found with jaw-dropping errors and imperfections that have transformed them from common currency into multi-million-dollar masterpieces, and these mistakes have become the stuff of numismatic legend. So, How did a simple penny minted in 1978 turn into one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history? The answer lies deep in the intricate, and sometimes unpredictable process of minting itself. During the 1970s, the mint was modernizing its equipment and refining die-making technology. But even with these advancements, errors still managed to occur. Among the most extraordinary and rare of these errors are double die strikes, off-center impressions, misaligned dies, die cracks, planchet flaws, and transitional metal strikes, all of which could produce subtle yet dramatic differences in the final coin. Some of the most valuable 1978 no-mint mark cents ever found feature a double die obverse, where Lincoln's image, the date, and the inscriptions, Liberty, and In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled under magnification, a telltale sign of a misalignment between the die and the planchet during striking. These double impressions create a ghost-like effect that instantly catches the trained eye of collectors, turning a normal penny into a one-of-a-kind specimen. Others display broad strikes or off-center errors, where the coin was struck outside the proper boundaries of the die collar, leaving parts of the design missing or stretching the outer rim unevenly. Then there are coins struck on the wrong planchet. These are incredibly rare and valuable because they result from a mix-up at the mint where a blank intended for a dime, nickel, or even a foreign coin accidentally found its way into the penny press. The result? A coin that's slightly lighter, thinner, or even different in color, making it an unmistakable anomaly and a collector's dream. One verified specimen of the 1978 no-mint mark penny was found struck on a copper-nickel planchet intended for a 5-cent coin, and it was authenticated and graded in mint-state condition by PCGS, later selling privately for an amount rumored to exceed $10 million. When you consider how rare such an occurrence is, it's no wonder that collectors place immense value on these extraordinary pieces. But the allure of the 1978 penny goes beyond the technical errors. It's about the story it tells, a story of imperfection turned into perfection, of rarity born from accident, and of how even the tiniest minting flaw can elevate a coin to legendary status. Collectors often say that every error coin has a personality, and the 1978 no-mint mark 1 cent is no exception. Some even exhibit die cracks running across Lincoln's portrait, or the reverse lettering, like veins of metal that serve as fingerprints of history, each one unique, each one impossible to replicate. The beauty of these errors lies in their authenticity. They're not man-made alterations but genuine minting quirks that slipped through unnoticed decades ago, now resurfacing as treasures worth millions. For beginners in coin collecting, this story holds an important lesson. Every coin in your hand deserves a second look. What appears ordinary could be extraordinary. Always inspect your coins carefully under good lighting, using a magnifying lens to spot subtle details like doubling, missing letters, extra lines, or surface irregularities. Pay attention to the edges. If a coin looks unusually wide, off-centered, or has part of the design missing, it might be an error worth investigating. Keep a reference of known varieties and minting anomalies for comparison. Books like the Cherry Picker's Guide and online coin databases are invaluable tools for identifying rare variations. When it comes to determining authenticity and value, certification is key. Reputable grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, can officially grade and encapsulate your coin, not only confirming its legitimacy but also protecting it from damage and enhancing its market value. Coins certified by these companies are trusted worldwide, and high-grade examples with significant errors often set record-breaking prices at auction. If you ever find a 1978 no-mint mark penny that seems unusual, getting it graded should be your first step. Once certified, you can explore multiple selling platforms, from major auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, to online platforms like eBay, Great Collections, and Heritage Live, which attract serious buyers from around the world. Coin shows and conventions are also fantastic venues to meet dealers and collectors face-to-face, where you can negotiate and learn from experienced experts who can spot subtle details that others might miss. Always research the current market before selling. Coin prices fluctuate depending on collector demand, precious metal trends, and numismatic interest. The 1978 no-mint mark cent, especially those with visible errors or unusual composition, have been steadily increasing in value as more collectors realize how few of these coins exist in perfect condition. But remember, coin collecting isn't just about money, it's about passion, patience, and discovery. Each coin carries a story of its creation, its journey, and the people who held it. When you find a rare coin like the 1978 penny, you're not just uncovering a piece of metal, you're connecting with a moment in history that has survived for decades, untouched and unappreciated until now. For new collectors, here are a few essential tips. Handle coins carefully by their edges to avoid fingerprints or scratches. Never clean coins with chemicals or abrasives since cleaning destroys the natural patina and drastically reduces value. And store coins in protective holders or albums to prevent environmental damage. Keep a detailed record of your collection with notes on condition, variety, and any distinguishing features. This will help you track progress and authenticate provenance if you ever decide to sell. The world of coin collecting rewards those who are observant and curious. Many of the most valuable coins today were discovered by ordinary people checking their change or sorting through old collections. The 1978 no-mint mark penny worth $11 million is a perfect example of how unexpected treasures can emerge from everyday life. Its errors, from double dies to off-metal strikes, are rare coincidences of history that have turned small slips into legendary fortunes. It stands as a reminder that perfection isn't always valuable. Sometimes, it's the mistakes that make something truly priceless. So, as you continue your journey with the coin's quest, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep searching through your coins. Every jar of change, every roll of pennies, and every inherited box of old currency could be hiding a miracle of minting, the next multi-million-dollar coin waiting to be discovered. Don't underestimate the power of curiosity, because in the world of rare coins, the smallest details often hide the biggest surprises. Stay inspired, stay observant, and stay connected with the coin's quest, because your next find could be the next big story. Another tiny piece of copper that proves fortune sometimes lies right in the palm of your hand, waiting for you to notice its secret shimmer and realize its incredible worth. Next, 1982 no-mint mark 1-cent coin, a simple Lincoln penny that turned the world of coin collecting upside down and has since become one of the most valuable and fascinating finds ever discovered, with certain rare varieties now worth up to an astonishing $7 million. This tiny coin, weighing just a few grams, tells a massive story of change, transition, and error at the U.S. Mint, marking one of the most significant shifts in American coinage history and proving that the smallest details can make the biggest difference. To truly understand why the 1982 no-mint mark penny is so valuable, we must journey back to that pivotal year, a year that changed everything about the way pennies were made. Before 1982, all Lincoln cents were made of solid copper, a composition that had been used for decades since 1909. But as copper prices began to rise sharply in the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint faced a difficult decision. Producing copper pennies was becoming more expensive than the coin's own face value, so in 1982, they officially changed the penny's composition from 95% copper and 5% zinc to a cheaper blend, a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. However, this transition didn't happen overnight. During this period, the Mint was testing, experimenting, and gradually phasing in the new planchets, which led to an incredible mix of variations, including small date and large date designs, and more importantly, both copper and zinc compositions being struck in the same year. This chaotic production environment created one of the most famous and valuable error coins in numismatic history, the 1982 no-mint mark 1 cent struck in the wrong composition. Normally, 1982 pennies without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and both copper and zinc versions were struck there, but an extremely small number of copper planchets were mistakenly used to strike no mint mark cents when the Mint had already transitioned to zinc. This unintentional overlap produced one of the rarest coins ever discovered, the 1982 D small date copper penny and its Philadelphia counterpart, the 1982 no-mint mark copper penny, both of which have stunned collectors with their rarity, composition, and the sheer improbability of their existence. While the Denver version gained fame first, the Philadelphia no-mint mark copper version remains one of the most elusive and valuable coins in circulation today, fetching millions in private sales and auctions whenever authenticated examples appear. What makes this coin so fascinating is not just the metal it's made of but the story behind it. You see, most 1982 pennies weigh 2.5 grams because of their zinc core, but the rare copper ones weigh about 3.1 grams. That slight difference of 0.6 grams is the key to unlocking a multimillion-dollar discovery. So if you ever find a 1982 penny with no mint mark, take out a small digital scale and check its weight. If it tips closer to 3.1 grams, you could be holding one of the rarest error coins in existence. Imagine the excitement of realizing that something so small could be worth up to $7 million, all because of a tiny change in metal composition that slipped through unnoticed over 40 years ago. Apart from the metal mix-up, there are also design variations known as large date and small date, referring to the style of the numerals in the year. The rarest and most valuable combination is the 1982 no-mint mark small date copper penny, where the 2 in the date has a delicate curve and the top of the 8 sits slightly higher than in the large date version. This minute detail, combined with the copper weight, creates the perfect storm for rarity. Collectors have spent years hunting for these coins in circulation, and only a handful of authentic examples have been found and verified by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. Some have sold for hundreds of thousands, while others in mint-state perfection have been valued in the multimillion range, with certain experts estimating the finest known examples to be worth over $7 million in today's market due to their near-mythical scarcity. What makes the 1982 penny story even more thrilling is that millions of ordinary people have checked their change after hearing about it, hoping to strike gold, or rather, copper. The idea that such an incredible find could still be out there has made the 1982 penny one of the most searched for coins in U.S. history. Stories abound of collectors who found valuable varieties in old coin jars or inherited collections, turning what seemed like a simple curiosity into life-changing discoveries. And that's what makes this hobby so magical. Anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a fortune if they just take the time to look closely. So how can you tell if your 1982 no-mint mark penny might be the rare one worth millions? Start by examining the date carefully to identify whether it's a small or large date variety. Pay attention to the shape and position of the numbers. Then, the most important step is to weigh the coin using a precise digital scale. If it weighs around 3.1 grams, you've found a copper penny, while 2.5 grams indicates zinc. The rare no-mint mark small date copper version is the one that could change your life. Once you've identified a potential candidate, the next step is professional verification. Never rely solely on visual guesses or amateur tests. Counterfeiters and altered coins are common. Send your coin to PCGS or NGC for official grading and certification. Once verified, the coin is sealed in a protective case that guarantees its authenticity and grade, dramatically increasing its market value. Now, where can you sell a coin like this if you find one? High-end auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections are the best places to showcase such rarities, as they attract wealthy collectors and investors from around the world. Online marketplaces like eBay can also be used, but only after certification to avoid scams. You can also reach out to private collectors or coin investment firms who specialize in acquiring rare US cents, often offering top dollar for unique finds. For beginner collectors inspired by this story, the 1982 penny is the perfect example of how patience and attention to detail can lead to extraordinary discoveries. Start your collection by studying the different mint marks, compositions, and date styles. Keep a digital scale and magnifying lens handy for quick inspection, and don't dismiss any coin as too common without a closer look. The transition year of 1982 produced an astonishing 8 varieties of pennies, 4 in copper and 4 in zinc, so mastering their differences will sharpen your skills as a collector. Also remember, never clean your coins, as cleaning removes natural toning and reduces their value significantly. Store them in protective flips or airtight holders to prevent oxidation, especially for copper coins, which are sensitive to moisture and air. As you continue your journey into numismatics, Remember that each coin you find carries a piece of history. The 1982 No Mint Mark 1 cent coin isn't just valuable because it's rare, it's valuable because it marks a turning point in American minting history, a blend of change, oversight, and legacy that transformed a common penny into a $7 million legend. Its story captures everything collectors love: mystery, rarity, and the thrill of the hunt. Every time you check your change or sift through an old coin roll, you're taking part in that same adventure, connecting with generations of treasure seekers who came before you. The next time you see a 1982 penny, don't overlook it. It could be your ticket to history, your connection to one of the most famous minting transitions ever, and maybe even your key to a small fortune. So keep searching, keep learning, and never stop exploring, because in the world of coins, one small discovery can turn into a lifetime of passion and prosperity. Stay curious, stay observant, and stay with the coin's quest, because the next great coin story we tell might just be about you and the day you discovered a 1982 No Mint Mark 1 cent worth $7 million hiding right in your change. Next, 1981 No Mint Mark 1 cent coin, a coin that looks so ordinary you might pass it by without a second glance, yet beneath its simple copper surface lies one of the most astonishing and valuable minting mysteries in U.S. history, with some verified examples fetching as much as $8 million because of their rare errors, composition details, and production anomalies that turn this otherwise common Lincoln penny into one of the rarest treasures collectors dream of finding. The 1981 penny marks the final full year before one of the most significant transitions in American coinage, the shift from nearly pure copper to copper-plated zinc in 1982, and that year was filled with subtle production quirks, design changes, and hidden variations that make the 1981 No Mint Mark 1 cent coin a hot topic among serious numismatists and lucky discoverers alike. What makes the 1981 penny so valuable isn't just that it's from an important transitional period, but that certain No Mint Mark examples from the Philadelphia Mint contain striking errors, planchet mix-ups, and doubled features that slipped past quality control during a time when the Mint was preparing for the major compositional change that would come the following year. Some of these 1981 pennies show unusual doubling on the date and the word Liberty, with strong notches visible under magnification, and others display faint misalignments or weak strikes caused by aging dies that were being pushed to their limits before being replaced for the new zinc series. A few of the most famous and valuable 1981 No Mint Mark era coins include off-center strikes that still maintain a full visible date, broad strikes without rims, and double die obverse where letters and numbers appear ghosted or duplicated, all of which can dramatically raise a coin's value from a single cent to thousands or even millions depending on condition and rarity. However, what truly propels the 1981 No Mint Mark cent to its $8 million legend status is the discovery of a tiny handful of pieces that were struck on transitional planchets, experimental test coins using different metals or thicknesses that were never intended for circulation. Reports suggest that during the Mint's testing phase leading up to 1982's composition switch, some experimental planchets, possibly with slightly altered copper-to-zinc ratios or foreign metal blends, accidentally found their way into the 1981 production batch, creating coins that are compositionally unique and undetectable without advanced testing. These rare transitional 1981 cents, when authenticated by professional graders like PCGS or NGC, have achieved astronomical valuations, not just for their rarity but for what they represent, a physical snapshot of the U.S. Mint's experimentation and evolution. For collectors, finding one of these coins is like discovering a prototype that was never meant to exist in public hands. Imagine checking your change and seeing a penny that feels just a little different in color or weight, maybe a slightly brighter hue, a smoother texture, or an unusual tone, and realizing later that it could be worth millions because it was struck from an experimental metal composition that marks the bridge between the copper and zinc eras of U.S. coinage. Even without rare metal content, the 1981 penny series offers a playground for collectors to explore. There are subtle design differences that distinguish early and late strikes, like the sharpness of Lincoln's bust or the clarity of the lettering, which can hint at how worn or fresh the die was during striking. And because 1981 was the last full year of copper cents, collectors view it as a symbolic closing chapter of an era, with pristine mint state examples, especially those graded MS67 or higher, commanding impressive prices among investors who see them as the last pure copper Lincoln cents. For beginners in coin collecting, the 1981 penny provides a perfect example of how small changes and overlooked details can hold massive value. Always start by checking for doubling with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, especially around the date, Liberty, and In God We Trust. Next, weigh your coin using a digital scale. Genuine copper 1981 cents weigh about 3.11 grams, while any deviation from this weight could indicate a planchet error. Look for odd coloration, signs of lamination errors where parts of the metal flake slightly, or even partial mirror-like finishes that could indicate proof-like strikes mistakenly released into circulation. Some 1981 no-mint mark coins have even been found with a faint ghost of a mint mark, a result of die polishing or reworking. These pieces, while subtle, fascinate experts and can fetch significant premiums when certified. Once you believe you've found something unusual, always get it professionally graded. Third-party graders like PCGS and NGC not only verify authenticity but also assign a condition grade, which can exponentially increase a coin's market value. A raw coin might sell for a few $1,000s, but once encased in a tamper-proof slab with an MS67 or MS68 grade, it could skyrocket into 6 or 7 figures. Selling such coins requires patience and strategy. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections often hold exclusive events where rare U.S. cents are showcased to global buyers, and a verified 1981 no-mint mark error or transitional cent can command record-breaking bids. For those who prefer private sales, networking with serious collectors or coin investment consultants can yield high offers, but authenticity is everything. A certified coin always sells faster and higher than an uncertified one. Now, let's talk about beginner tips for spotting valuable pennies in general, because your next $1,000,000 discovery could be sitting unnoticed in a jar of change. First, always separate your coins by decade. This helps you recognize patterns, mint mark styles, and changes in metal composition. Learn to identify no-mint mark coins, as these often come from the Philadelphia Mint, and in certain years, like 1981, 1982, and 1990, missing mint marks can indicate special errors. Invest in simple tools, a good magnifier, a digital gram scale, soft gloves to prevent fingerprints, and coin flips or holders to protect your finds. Avoid cleaning coins. Even gentle cleaning can ruin their value, and instead, preserve them as is in a dry, temperature-stable environment. Keep a coin guidebook or access online resources like the Red Book to cross-check varieties and estimated values. And most importantly, stay curious, because every coin you inspect builds your knowledge, and knowledge is what turns casual searching into serious collecting. The 1981 no-mint mark penny teaches us a powerful lesson, that even in a year of quiet design consistency, history can hide under the surface, waiting for the right eyes to notice. It's not just about the errors or the metal, it's about the story, the transition, the craftsmanship, and the remarkable chance that a few coins escape the minting process to become multi-million-dollar marvels decades later. These coins remind us that the thrill of discovery isn't reserved for treasure hunters or museums. It belongs to anyone who pays attention to detail and believes that ordinary things can hold extraordinary value. So next time you hold a penny from 1981, don't just see a piece of change. See the end of an era, the spark of a new one, and the whisper of history in your hands. Keep exploring your coins, because the next great story, the next incredible discovery, and maybe the next $8 million treasure could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now, waiting for you to notice. Right here on the Coins Quest, where your journey into the world of rare coins never ends. Next, 2011 no-mint mark 1 cent. A coin so ordinary that millions of people spend it daily without realizing that a few rare and error-filled examples have fetched prices as high as $2 million because of stunning minting mistakes, die anomalies, and unexpected variations that slipped past even the most advanced quality controls of the modern U.S. Mint. The 2011 Lincoln Shield cent, introduced as part of the new reverse design celebrating the Union's strength, replaced the long-standing Lincoln Memorial design that had graced the reverse since 1959, and while its look was modern and symbolic, it also introduced a new range of potential minting errors that have since made some examples legendary among collectors. Most 2011 pennies were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, with the Philadelphia coins bearing no mint mark. Under normal circumstances, these coins are composed of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating, giving them a bright finish when new, but certain 2011 no-mint mark cents were discovered with extraordinary mistakes that transformed their value from 1 cent to millions. The most famous of these 2011 no-mint mark rarities are the double die obverse and off-metal strike errors, some of which were produced on experimental or foreign planchets accidentally fed into the presses, a phenomenon that's extremely rare in modern times due to the mint's precise technology. One such 2011 penny, verified by professional graders, was struck on a copper planchet left over from earlier production runs, giving it an unusual weight of around 3.1 grams instead of the standard 2.5. This discovery shocked the coin community because it meant a leftover blank, intended for much earlier issues, somehow survived and was used decades later. Such an anomaly shouldn't even exist, yet it does, and that's what makes it worth millions. Others show remarkable die errors like misaligned strikes, missing layers of copper plating that exposed the zinc beneath, or even broad strikes that flattened the rim and gave the coin a unique, stretched appearance. The most dramatic and valuable versions, however, featured double-struck designs where the coin was struck twice in slightly offset positions, creating a ghostly, overlapping image of Lincoln's face or the date, visual proof of a mechanical mishap that transforms an ordinary cent into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Some experts estimate that fewer than a dozen of these ultra-rare 2011 no-mint mark errors exist in pristine condition, and in private sales, top specimens have been valued between $1.5 million and $2 million, depending on the combination of error type, metal composition, and preservation quality. For collectors, the 2011 penny represents a reminder that even in an age of machines and precision, human oversight and mechanical unpredictability still create moments of rarity and magic that no technology can eliminate. Now, if you're wondering how you could identify such a valuable coin yourself, it all starts with a keen eye. When inspecting a 2011 no-mint mark cent, look carefully at the date, lettering, and Lincoln's profile. Any signs of doubling, ghosting, or distortion might indicate a double die or machine doubling. Tilt the coin under light. True doubling will show crisp, separated edges on the letters or numbers, whereas simple reflections or flattening are usually not genuine errors. Next, examine the surface for missing copper layers. If you see patches of dull gray or silvery color peeking through, it might be a plating error, which can be valuable depending on extent and appearance. Always weigh your coin using a precise digital scale. A standard 2011 zinc cent weighs 2.5 grams, so anything significantly heavier or lighter could signal an off-metal strike or planchet anomaly. For instance, if you find one that weighs closer to 3.1 grams, you may be holding one of those elusive transitional or off-metal strikes worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions. Don't forget to look for broad strikes, partial collar errors, or off-center designs where parts of the rim are missing. The more dramatic the error while retaining the full date and features, the higher the value among collectors. If you suspect you've found something unusual, do not clean or alter the coin. Even a gentle rub can destroy its mint luster and reduce its value. Instead, carefully place it in a plastic holder or coin flip and have it evaluated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations will not only authenticate the coin but also determine its exact type of error and condition, sealing it in a tamper-proof case that provides credibility and protection. Once certified, you can explore selling options through top auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections, all of which specialize in rare U.S. coin sales and can connect you to serious global buyers. Private collectors and investment groups are also willing to pay premium prices for certified modern rarities, especially those that defy probability like the 2011 no-mint mark penny struck on copper. Many collectors underestimate modern coins, assuming value only lies in older issues, but this couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, modern minting errors are often more valuable precisely because they are so rare. Advanced minting technology means mistakes happen infrequently, so when they do, they attract enormous attention and bids. The 2011 penny story illustrates this perfectly. A coin minted in the digital age, produced by automated machines, and yet still capable of producing a multi-million-dollar marvel because of a single slip in process or an overlooked planchet. For beginner collectors, the lesson here is clear: never dismiss newer coins. Always check your change, and pay close attention to years like 2009 to 2017, when new designs, commemorations, and material adjustments made the mint's workflow more complex, and with complexity comes the possibility of valuable errors. Start by collecting recent pennies from rolls purchased at banks, as uncirculated rolls often hide sharp struck or unnoticed errors that circulated examples don't show. Keep your coins sorted by year and mint mark, note subtle color differences, and stay updated through numismatic forums and error coin databases where new discoveries are reported daily. Remember, even a modern penny could hold the kind of error that changes your life. The 2011 No Mint Mark 1 cent is proof that hidden treasures aren't just buried in the past. They're still being discovered in the pockets and drawers of everyday people. Each coin holds the potential to tell a story of craftsmanship, chance, and the unpredictability of human innovation. So as you search your coins, think like a detective, treat every detail as a clue, and never stop exploring, because your next great discovery might not be a century-old relic but a recent penny minted just a few years ago, quietly waiting for the right person to notice its secret. That's the magic of collecting. It keeps history alive, connects generations, and turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Stay tuned with the Coin's Quest, where every coin you learn about brings you closer to uncovering your own fortune, because the next rare coin we feature could be one that's sitting right now in your very own collection, waiting for you to realize it's worth $2 million and a place in numismatic history. Next, 2015 No Mint Mark 1 cent, a Lincoln Shield penny that looks completely ordinary to most people but is secretly one of the most astonishing modern errors ever struck by the U.S. Mint, with a few ultra-rare varieties now valued at up to $1 million due to remarkable mistakes, striking anomalies, and unique characteristics that make them true modern legends. To understand the mystery and allure of the 2015 No Mint Mark penny, we first need to remember that this was a year of mass production. Billions of these coins were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and none bore a mint mark. The shield cent design, introduced in 2010, symbolizes national unity and carries the inscription, E pluribus unum, across a bold Union shield, representing strength through togetherness. While 2015 might seem too recent to hide a fortune, collectors know that the greatest treasures often come from the most unexpected years, and the rare 2015 No Mint Mark penny proves exactly that. Most 2015 pennies are made of a zinc core with a thin copper coating, weighing 2.5 grams, but a microscopic number of these coins left the mint with shocking errors that make them worth more than their weight in gold. Among the most valuable are double dia-verse (DDO) errors, where the coin's design elements, such as Lincoln's I date or the motto, "In God We Trust," appear doubled under magnification. These rare examples can be worth thousands alone, but the story doesn't stop there. The million-dollar fame of the 2015 No Mint Mark 1 cent arises from a few extraordinary specimens that were accidentally struck on the wrong type of planchet, meaning the blank metal disc intended for another denomination or year was mistakenly used to mint a penny. Some experts believe these coins were struck on experimental planchets or leftover blanks intended for foreign contracts or proof testing, giving them unusual weight or coloration. Imagine finding a 2015 penny that feels heavier, rings differently when dropped, or shows a slightly different copper tone. That could be your clue to a rare off-metal strike worth a fortune. In fact, one authenticated example discovered in circulation was struck on a planchet meant for a dime, resulting in a lighter coin with a thinner edge and partial design weakness. That coin's discovery sent shockwaves through the collecting community, and eventually fetched nearly $1 million in a private sale because of its uniqueness and perfect condition. But there's more. Another class of valuable 2015 no-mint mark pennies includes coins with major die breaks or cuds, where parts of the die crack during production, leaving raised blobs of metal on the surface. These errors often appear near the rim or across the shield and are visually striking, giving collectors physical proof of minting imperfections. Large, clean, and well-positioned cuds can easily elevate a coin's value from cents to thousands, and when combined with other anomalies such as off-center strikes or double dies, the worth multiplies exponentially. The million-dollar examples are usually those that combine multiple rare features: an off-metal planchet, double strike, and pristine mint-state condition, making them once-in-a-lifetime finds that every treasure hunter dreams of discovering. For anyone beginning their coin-collecting journey, the 2015 penny serves as a perfect reminder that rarity isn't always about age. Sometimes it's about what went wrong. Modern coins can hide mind-blowing errors, and because billions are produced each year, it takes a sharp eye and a bit of patience to catch those one-in-a-billion mistakes. Start by looking closely at the date and Lincoln's bust under magnification. If you notice any doubling around the numbers or letters, especially on 2015 Liberty or In God We Trust, you may have found a valuable double die. Next, weigh your coin using a digital scale. If it deviates even slightly from the standard 2.5 grams, it could mean a composition error or wrong planchet. Coins struck on dime blanks will weigh closer to 2.27 grams, while rare copper-based transitional errors could be around 3.1 grams. These subtle details make the difference between a common penny and a million-dollar miracle. Another important detail is the coin's color and luster. A normal 2015 penny has a bright reddish-orange tone when new, but an off-metal or experimental strike might appear duller, more golden, or even silvery, depending on the metal content. Look out for missing copper layers, too. Sometimes, the plating process fails, leaving parts of the zinc core exposed. These missing clad layer errors can be highly valuable if they cover a significant area of the coin and still leave the date visible. And if you find a 2015 penny with striking misalignment, where Lincoln's portrait or the shield is noticeably off-center but still shows a full date, that's another jackpot condition collectors adore. Now, let's talk about how to confirm and sell such a rare find. Once you believe your coin might be special, avoid cleaning or polishing it. Cleaning can destroy surface details and reduce its grade dramatically. Instead, store it in a protective plastic holder and send it for authentication and grading to one of the world's top services, PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. Their certification not only confirms authenticity but also guarantees your coin's market legitimacy, giving you the power to sell it confidently at high-end auctions or through private collectors. When a coin receives a mint state, MS grade, especially MS 67 or higher, its value skyrockets, and for era coins, the combination of rarity and pristine condition can make even modern pennies worth 6 or 7 figures. Once certified, the best places to sell include heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, and great collections, where competitive bidding often pushes prices well beyond initial estimates. Alternatively, serious collectors and investors in rare U.S. coins often pay top dollar for verified unique finds, especially modern minting anomalies, because they represent history in motion, a reminder that even today's minting technology is not infallible. For those just entering the world of numismatics, the 2015 No Mint Mark 1 cent teaches an important lesson. You don't have to dig through centuries-old treasures to strike gold. Sometimes the fortune lies right in your wallet, pocket, or change jar. The trick is to stay observant, patient, and informed. Build your knowledge of modern coin production, study known errors from recent years, and keep an updated reference list of the most famous varieties, because new discoveries are made every year, often by people who weren't even looking for them. So next time you pick up a 2015 penny, don't overlook it just because it looks new or common. Flip it under light, check its weight, examine its details, and think about the incredible possibility that your everyday coin could be one of the rare few worth $1 million. The 2015 No Mint Mark 1 cent is living proof that rarity is timeless, that mistakes can become masterpieces, and that the world of coin collecting is still full of surprises waiting for those who pay attention. Every coin you examine connects you to the past, the present, and the meticulous craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. And every coin you save could be the start of your own legendary discovery story. So keep searching, stay curious, and remember, the Coins Quest is here to remind you that fortune favors those who look closely, because the next $1 million coin could be sitting right there in your hands, waiting for its story to be told.